Many countries around the world witnessed political assassinations in their history, including the United States of America. Due to Western interests and influence on the countries in Africa, most assassinations here have been linked to Western powers. In this video, we will list and explain African leaders that have been assassinated for refusing to bow to Western pressure. Without much ado, let's get started. Welcome to History Media In-Depth History. At number 1, Patrice Lumumba, DR Congo, 1961. Patrice Lumumba was announced Prime Minister in June 1961 at the age of 34. He endured a difficult tenure plagued by the Congo crisis, which comprised of mutiny in the army, cessation of important mineral-rich regions, Katanga and South Kasai, with Belgian support, rebellion in some parts of the country, and inter-ethnic crisis. After failing to get the support of the United States and the United Nations in fighting the secession, Lumumba turned to the Soviets. This was a cardinal sin in the era of the Cold War and ultimately led to division within his own government and his subsequent removal by Army Chief Colonel Joseph Mobutu, also known as Mobutu Sese Seko. Patrice Emery Lumumba was executed by firing squad on January 17, 1961. Some sources claim that his body was dug up and dissolved in sulfuric acid while the bones were burnt into ashes. Number 2. Marian NGwabi of the Republic of Congo. Marian NGwabi of Republic of Congo was assassinated on March 18, 1977. As head of the National Revolutionary Council, Marian NGwabi came to power when his party became the country's supreme authority in December 1968. He established the continent's first Marxist-Leninist state and founded the Congolese Workers' Party as the sole legal political party. In 1977, he was assassinated in a suicide mission, and an interim government was established headed by conservative Colonel Joachim Nyombi Opango. It is claimed that the president was under French pressure to annex the then oil-rich Gabina, a part of the Portuguese Angola, and his refusal to act cost him French support. After losing French support, the president was assassinated. Those accused of taking part in the assassination were quickly tried and executed. Do you know that the best way you can support our channel is to like this video? Kindly book the like button on this video. If you enjoy our content, please subscribe and share with friends on social media. Thank you. Number 3. Murtala Muhammad al-Gaddafi, the president of Libya. Muammar Gaddafi, age 69, was assassinated on the 20th of October 2011. Like several African leaders in the 1960s, Gaddafi took power in a coup from the monarchy of King Idris on the 1st of September 1969. In 2011, anti-Gaddafi uprising broke out, resulting in a civil war. Eventually, the United States and NATO-backed rebels brought down Gaddafi's government, and through the help of the United States and NATO, Muammar Gaddafi was captured and then killed on October 20, 2011. Juvenal Habyarimana and Cyprien Ntaramira, Rwanda and Burundi, 1994. On the 6th of April 1994, Rwandan President Habyarimana's plane was shot down near Kigali International Airport, killing both Habyarimana and the President of Burundi, Cyprien Ntaramira, as well as their entourage and 3 French crewmen. The attackers remain unknown. Analysts conclude that it was most likely a coup d'etat carried out by extreme Hutu members of Habyarimana's government who feared that the president was serious about honoring the Arusha Agreement and was a planned part of the genocide. This theory was disputed in 2006 by French judge Jean-Louis Bruguera and in 2008 by Spanish judge Fernando Andreu. Both alleged that Kagame and the RPF were responsible. Habyarimana's death escalated tensions between Hutu and Tutsi ethnic groups in a country where tribal identity and allegiance meant everything and could solely determine one's chances of survival. This sparks of Rwandan Genocide of 1994, which saw almost 1 million Tutsis and moderate Hutus massacred within a space of 4 months. Habyarimana's death is still a subject of controversy in Rwanda. One version, the official version, explained that the plane was taken down by Hutu extremists desperate for an excuse to wipe out Tutsis. Another version holds Tutsi fighters allegedly led or ordered by Paul Kagame, the president responsible. Habyarimana, a Hutu, served from 1973 to 1994. At number 5, Thomas Isidore Noel Sankara, Burkina Faso, 1987. Thomas Sankara seized power in a popular coup in 1983 in an attempt to break the country's ties to its French colonial power. He gave the country its new name, Burkina Faso, formerly known as Upper Volta. Sankara had an ambitious agenda to eliminate corruption and encourage economic and social progress, but this resulted in an increasingly authoritarian approach to power. Though he remained an icon to the poor, his policies aggravated the middle class as well as traditional tribal leaders. He was overthrown and assassinated in the coup led by the French-backed Blaise Compaoré in October 1987. At number 6, Laurent Kabila, Democratic Republic of Congo, 2001. Laurent Kabila took power in the DRC in 1997 after overthrowing Mobutu Sese Seko. He served for 4 years before being shot and killed in January 2001 by one of his bodyguards. According to some DRC officials, the assassination was masterminded by Rwanda, though 11 Lebanese nationals were executed shortly after the events. Kabila's party managed to retain power, and Laurent's son, Joseph Kabila, succeeded his father 8 days later. At number 7, Samuel Doe, the President of Liberia, age 39. Samuel Doe, the President of Liberia, was assassinated on the 9th of September 1999. Liberia had been politically dominated by Americans and Liberians over the century until Samuel Doe took power through a military coup. After seizing power, he opened Liberia to Canada, the Soviets, Chinese, and European investors. This brought in considerable foreign investment from foreign firms and a reputation of being a tax haven. In the late 1980s, the United States government becomes disenchanted with Doe's government and began cutting critical foreign aid. This placed him and his government in a very precarious position. Charles Taylor, a former ally, broke out of jail in the United States, and soon President Doe was captured, tortured, and executed. At number 8, Murtala Muhammad, Nigeria, 1976. Murtala Muhammad took power in Nigeria in a military coup from his former ally, General Yakubu Gowon, on July 29, 1975, but only governed for little over 6 months. He was assassinated in an aborted military coup led by Lieutenant Colonel Bukar Sukar Dimka on the 13th of February 1976. Nigerians widely believe that his assassination may have been planned or backed by the CIA because of his communist ideology and his regime's supposed alliance with the Soviet in the Angolan crisis. At number 9, Muhammad AlSadad, Egypt, 1981. Muhammad AlSadad was a man of oratory, charm, style, and swagger, with a knack for risk-taking, even when it came with the possibility of political cost. Muhammad AlSadad was assassinated at a military parade in 1981 by a group of officers who were discontent about a peace deal with Israel, worsening economy, imprisonment of opposition figures, among others. The treaty was very unpopular in the Arab world and may have resulted in further discontent with his government. At number 10, Sylvanus Olympio, Togo, 1963. Sylvanus Olympio helped the country reach independence from France, but this would come with a very heavy price. In order to block the hopes of emancipation and aspirations for self-government by Olympio, France put a lot of hurdles on the road for the tiny West African country. However, Olympio was ready to scale the hurdles. Olympio's vision of a free and self-determining Togo, free of Western interference by putting the people above other interests, didn't go down well in Paris. The last straw was his decision to break away from the CFA franc currency, which was imposed on France's colonies in 1945 at gunpoint. Olympio was assassinated on January 13, 1963 by French trained half soldiers who fought for France in the Indochina and Algerian wars, after being handed over by the US ambassador Leon B. Pollard. The assassination took place in front of the US embassy compound in Lomé, Togo. And as a bonus point, Felix Roland Mumi, Cameroon. Felix Mumi was an anti-colonialist Cameroonian leader who was assassinated in Geneva on the 3rd of November 1960 by an agent of the SDECE, French Secret Service, with thallium poisoning following official independence from France earlier that year. Felix Roland Mumi succeeded Ruben Myobe, who was killed in September 1958. He was the leader of the UPC, Cameroon's People Union. Knowing that he was constantly under surveillance by the French intelligence services, he ensured that he never flew over French territory and avoided the airspace of the countries that were members of the French community. He feared that his plane would be intercepted, as a plane of Ahmed Ben Bella, an FLN leader, was in 1956. He lived mainly between Ghana and Guinea, where he sought to gain support for the UPC. He was lured to Geneva and poisoned by a French-backed agent who pretended to be a journalist. Click this video here for detailed information on the assassination of Sylvanus Olympio of Togo in 1963. For more informative content like this, please subscribe to History Media. Don't forget to like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.